We live in interesting times. Today's stories. Bribery retrial opens for Samsung Scion. Bamboozled Panda Dog Cafe sparks China animal rights debate. Fall of the Berlin Wall breathes new life into Saxony wine. Victorious but weakened, Trudeau needs help to form government. Plus, for EBC Sports, fans of the Toronto Raptors receive a special gift at the NBA opening night. Canada is bringing home the Canadian bacon at the World Indoor Lacrosse Championships. The Monster Energy Tour makes a pit stop at Abbotsford, BC. And Aid to Humanity reaches out to Niagara Falls community. I'm Tiffany Alisasis with Eagle News, broadcasting from our Calgary studio, bringing you stories from around the globe. The heir to the Samsung empire appeared in court for retrial over a sprawling corruption scandal that threatens to dispute management at the world's biggest smartphone and memory chip maker.
많은 분들께 심려를 끼쳐드려서 대단히 송구스럽게 생각하고 있습니다. 감사합니다.
Lee Jae-yong is a vice chairman of Samsung Electronics, where profits have been falling for months, and was jailed for 5 years in 2017 for bribery, embezzlement, and other offenses in connection with the scandal that brought down South Korean President Park Geun-hye. The 51-year-old was released a year later after an appeals court dismissed most of his bribery convictions and gave him a suspended sentence, but that decision was set aside by the Supreme Court in August, which ordered a retrial. Accompanied by his lawyers, Lee walked stony-faced into Seoul's High Court for the new proceedings, telling reporters, "I'm sorry for causing many people concern." In a court hearing that lasted less than an hour, he spoke only to confirm his name, address, date of birth, and job title. The case centers on millions of dollars. The Samsung Group paid Park's secret confidant, Choi Sun-sil, allegedly for government favors, such as ensuring a smooth transition for Lee to succeed his ailing father. Prosecutors told the court they had much evidence to prove that link. The crucial issue before the court, the Supreme Court's decision does not bode well for Lee, as it ruled that 8.6 billion won, $7.3 million, paid by Samsung should be considered as bribes, and suspended sentences are only possible in bribery cases if the amount is less than 5 billion won. Lee's lawyer, Jun Sung-kun, said the defense respects the Supreme Court's ruling and would defend him on the basis, adding, "The most important thing here is the weighing of punishment." The scandal highlighted shady connections between big businesses and politics in South Korea, with the ousted president and her friend accused of taking bribes from corporate bigwigs in exchange for preferential treatment. Lee left court after hearing and is not being held in custody during the trial, but is expected to last for months and could deprive him firm of its top decision maker. Sejong University business professor Kim Dae-jung said that the firm's daily business is managed by a board of directors, but strategic moves required his approval. A pet cafe in China where dogs are dyed black and white to look like panda cubs has triggered a heated online debate over the treatment of animals. The Cute Pet Games Cafe opened last month in Qingdong, capital of Southwest Sichuan, province which is home to China's favorite giant pandas, and features 6 panda-like Chow Chow dogs, according to a video posted by Hongxing News. Customers were shown petting the fluffy panda dogs. The cafe owner, only identified by his last name Huang, told Hongxing News that he had started offering pet dyeing services after the panda dogs became an instant hit with clients. Huang said that every time we dye it, it cost 1,500 yuan, $211. The dye itself is very expensive. He said it takes a trained staff about a day to transform a fluffy Chow Chow dog into a panda. The hashtag dye a dog into a panda for 1,500 yen has gone viral with more than 170 million views on China's Twitter-like Weibo platform and led to a torrent of angry comments from pet owners stressing the possible side effects of dyeing the animal fur. In the video, Wang says the dye is imported from Japan and won't harm the dogs. But vet Li Daibing told Hongxing News that dyeing the dogs could damage the animal's fur and skin. While the end of the Communist East largely spelled the collapse of the region's industries, smallhold vineyards sprang up at the state-owned farming cooperatives that once produced food for the masses were dissolved, spit up, and sold off to private owners. Klaus Zimmerling counted among those who pounced on one of these paracels, and today he produced top-quality vintages.
Und 92 kam dann die Chance, dass ich hier diesen Weinberg mit damals gerade mal 1,5 Hektar erstmal übernehmen konnte und dann Schritt für Schritt das aufbauen konnte. Und das Schöne am Anfang war, dass man irrsinnige Freiheitsgefühle hatte. Und habe hier einfach dann gesehen, dass Dresden ein schönes Mikroklima für Wein hat. Und dann ging es eben einfach erstmal los. Sag mal, wäre hier weiter DDR geblieben, hätte das genauso in Österreich, in der Wachau dort was anderes werden können. Oder ich hatte auch mal direkt in Bordeaux ein Angebot, ein Weinberg zu übernehmen. Aber da war ich noch schon sehr verwurzelt hier. Also wir haben in der Regel im Herbst dann kühle Nächte, die Säuren festhalten und die Aromen. Und wir können absolut einzigartige Weine hier machen, von höchstem Niveau, auch wenn uns das nicht jeder zutraut. Das Schöne ist hier, wir haben also sehr, sehr kleine Beeren. Die sind viel geschmacksintensiver als große und kompakte. Und hier, die gehen schon ins Orange rein, das wird grandios schmecken.
Still to come. Victorious but weakened, Trudeau needs help to form government. Plus, for EBC Sports, fans of the Toronto Raptors receive a special gift at the NBA opening night. Canada is bringing home the Canadian bacon at the World Indoor Lacrosse Championships. The Monster Energy Tour makes a pit stop at Abbotsford, BC. This is Eagle News. You're watching Eagle News. A weakened Prime Minister Justin Trudeau set out to secure the support of smaller parties. He will need to form a government after winning Canada's nail-biter general election by falling short of a majority. Trudeau's Liberals took 157 seats in the 338-member House of Commons, down from a comfortable majority of 184 in the last ballot, and from 177 at the dissolution of Parliament, official results showed.
I intend to sit down with all party leaders in the coming weeks to talk about their priorities, about how we can work together to respond to the preoccupations that Canadians have from one end of this country to the other. They will be various and varied conversations, but I can tell you it is not in our plans at all to form any sort of formal coalition, formal or informal coalition.
The standard barrier for progressivism will now have to seek some kind of accommodation with the Bloc Québécois or the New Democratic Party, NDP, to consolidate his position. Trudeau received congratulations from US President Donald Trump and from European Council President Donald Tusk. The win after a horse race with the Tories was a vindication for Trudeau amid a campaign in which his Liberals lost support across Canada. Going into the elections, his golden boy image had already been damaged by ethics lapse in the handling of the bribery prosecution of engineering giant SNC-Lavalin. His popularity took a further hit with the emergence during the campaign of old photographs of him in blackface makeup. The scandals, which also included his bullying of his attorney general, could still be investigated by federal police. Defeated Conservative leader Andrew Scheer warned that Canada's oil sector, which is struggling with the low prices and a lack of pipeline capacity, is under attack. from climate activists and government policies. He said the environmental protections of the Trudeau Liberals, who campaigned for tougher climate action, could be further devastating.
We made the decision to move forward on the Trans Mountain Pipeline expansion because it was in Canada's interest to do so, because the environment and the economy need to go together. We will be continuing with the Trans Mountain Pipeline expansion.
For now, Trudeau's face the tough task of forming a government for which he will have to take into account the demands of minority parties.
We are moving forward to solve some of those challenges, but it's going to take all Canadians sticking together, helping out folks who are struggling in places like Alberta and Saskatchewan. This is what Canadians expect of their government, and this is something that we're going to stay focused on. We put in place measures that allowed that project to move forward by doing more for the environment, more for oceans protection, better partnership with Indigenous peoples, because we need to get our resources to markets other than the United States in a safe and secure way, and that's what the Trans Mountain Pipeline will do. And then we will be able to invest all profits and revenues into this green energy and fighting climate change that Canadians expect us to act on. We are, of course, going to be continuing to work with friends and partners, not just across the Atlantic, but around the world on the big issues that matter to everyone, whether it be climate change or strengthening democracies or making sure that everyone has a real and fair chance to succeed around the world. These are things that we obviously have strong alignment with many European friends and partners. Right now, and for too long, we have been selling our natural resources to the United States at a discount. And that doesn't serve anyone. It certainly doesn't serve the transition and the investments in clean energy and fighting climate change that take resources and take money to be able to do. Getting our resources to markets other than the United States and getting that done as quickly as possible remains a priority for us.
In sports. Fans receive a memorable gift as the NBA season begins. Aiden Pangalingan with the details.
It is indeed a magical and historic opening start of the NBA for the Toronto Raptors as the players receive their rings as reigning NBA champions. Fans will also get to witness the raising of their beloved team's championship banner to the rafters, a moment the franchise has been waiting for 25 years.
NBA Commissioner Adam Silver greeted fans with the Larry O'Brien Championship Trophy and rings for each member of the Raptors organization. All fans in attendance also took home their very own replica ring, something the fans will surely remember for a very long time. The ceremony marks the first ever championship banner raised in Scotiabank Arena and the first NBA championship banner raised outside the United States. Head coach Nick Nurse spoke about the ring ceremony post-game.
It was a lot more than I thought it was going to be, right? I guess I just I didn't prepare myself very well. I just thought they'd hand us a ring, and just, going through the whole playoff thing and down there, and the crowd was pretty amped up and stuff. It was pretty emotional.
For what was a historical championship run, the team will also embark on their 25th season as an organization. The team will inevitably release the retro white jersey from their inaugural season. Raptors won the contest 130-122 against the New Orleans Pelicans in overtime. Pascal Siakam and Fred VanVleet both debuted with the team-high 34 points in the narrow win. Despite what took place this offseason, the Raptors still have the confidence of NBA champions. The squad knows what it takes to get to the end, and only time will tell if they make it all the way back to another NBA championship. For more NBA coverage, look to EBCSI for more highlights and stories. I'm Aiden Pangalingan, Eagle News, 1 with 25.
Thank you, Aiden. Canada played against the Iroquois Nationals at the World Indoor Lacrosse Championships. Who brought home the bacon? Let's find out. Anthony?
Canada claimed their 5th straight gold medal at the World Indoor Lacrosse Championship at the Langley Event Center, defeating the Iroquois Nationals 19-12. Goals were exchanged throughout the entire game, but Canada pulled ahead 14-8 to end the third and held off a late fourth quarter rally by the Nationals to steal the victory. Canada had 7 different players contributing on the offensive end. Dane Dobbie led the team with 10 points, 3 goals and 7 assists, and Curtis Dixon led the team in goals with 5 to go along with his 2 assists. Dixon, who grew up in Port Coquitlam, a short drive from the Langley Event Center, shared his thoughts on winning in his hometown and how special it was to represent his country.
It's awesome. This is my third World Championship, and it never gets old. It's always a special moment getting to represent your country, and getting to do it, in my backyard is extra special.
The host nation now holds the record for the most titles in the FIL World Indoor Lacrosse Championships since the event was founded in 2003. Despite never claiming gold, the Iroquois Nationals have been dominant at this event every year. They are the only Native American team sanctioned by the International Lacrosse Federation to compete in any sport internationally. Anthony Sevilla, Eagle News, 1 with 25.
Thank you, Anthony. EBC's Zahoti shows us what the Monster Energy Tour is all about.
Country music and cowboys stampede its roots to British Columbia for the professional bull riding Monster Energy Tour at the Abbotsford Centre.
In the 4th annual Abbotsford Classic, 27-year-old Garrett Green took home the title, going 2 for 2 while scoring a whopping 87.5 points in the championship round. With the win, Green made up a lot of ground, earning 530 standing points, moving up to 7th place on the Canadian National Leaderboard, crucial points ahead of the Canadian Nationals in November. Garrett Green talked about what he needs to do to keep up the momentum heading into the Nationals.
I've taken a month off here. I've really been working out and focusing hard, getting ready just for this upcoming month, because I have bull ridings every week and big ones at that. So, and this is the first one, and if we can keep going like this, it's going to be good.
The crowd was loud and exciting throughout the night, and the riders heard it. Green spoke about how the Abbotsford fans are always something they look forward to.
I've been out here 3 years now, and every year, the great crowd, they're just awesome. They get right into it, right behind it. They seem to love it, so I love coming out here.
Bull of the Night is one of the more exciting awards given out at each event. Tonight, it was Uptown Funk who scored an incredible 43.5 points on his own, and his rider, 21-year-old Logan Beaver, scored 87 total points, netting him a 4th place finish.
The Monster Energy Tour will now head into the final event of the season, with the Canadian Finals being held in Saskatchewan on November 22nd and 23rd. Jolte Horvath, Eagle News, 1 with 25.
Up next, Aid to Humanity reaches out to Niagara Falls community. You're watching Eagle News. This is Eagle News. I'm Tiffany Alisasis. In Niagara, the Iglesia Ni Cristo's Aid to Humanity reaches out to a community. Take a look.
The city of Niagara Falls is a tourism and hospitality hub. Every year, about 12 million tourists come to the city to experience its social life, entertainment industry, and scenic landscape. Even though Canada is a wealthy country, its provinces, cities, and towns are not immune to poverty. FYM Foundation is here to add armor and support to this ongoing fight in hopes to have a profound effect in reducing poverty and hunger in the world. Its vision and mission is based on their unceasing commitment in addressing the needs of people and communities on a global scale, and that includes the city of Niagara Falls.
We are here today to have our Aid to Humanity and Evangelical Mission activity of the church. Members of the Church of Christ are always guided by the church administration through the words of God. One of God's commandments written in the Bible is to love your neighbor as you love yourself. That is why we engage ourselves in activities that benefit the community.
It's about 3.5, maybe even 4 hours to get here in Niagara, but together with my brethren and myself, and also our Goodwill or care packages, we are united with our church administration to show the love of the brotherhood, but also the love for our fellow men.
The Iglesia Ni Cristo, or Church of Christ, in conjunction with the Felix Y. Manalo Foundation, reaches out to the community in Niagara Falls through the Aid to Humanity project. Today, more than 400 care packages are ready to be provided to those in need. Each bag contains items such as fruit juices, cereals, pasta, canned, and other dry goods.
My own view is that I met people I've seen here, like a community of very happy, accommodating people. Like, this is not something you see all the time. People that are so accepting, like they're willing to really talk to you, help you, and all that. And it's something that we should encourage, and it's lovely.
Aid for humanity is something that people should not like fear or think that they are less. Because when I needed help as a student, I never got that.
Okay.
And today, this event just amalgamated everything, coming together and actually giving something to the community, and which is really great. And it's amazing because it goes a long way, because you have no idea what a bag of groceries will do to a family. It will change their whole life.
Local community outreach projects like what happened here in Niagara Falls is part of the Church of Christ of volunteer service.
Driven by their belief that whenever you possibly can, do good to those who need it.
For Eagle News Service, reporting from Niagara Falls, this is Rex Adam.
And I'm Ilani Guardian.
We are one with 25.
That is this week's Eagle News. Join us next week for stories that matter to you. Visit our website at eaglenews.net and eaglenewslive.com. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/eaglenews and on Facebook at facebook.com/eaglenews. Thank you for watching. I am Tiffany Alisastis. I'm 1 with 25.